In this edition of End Time Insights, we're going to be discussing Revelation chapter 13, verses 11 through 18, wherein it mentions the second beast, as there are two in Revelation chapter 13, but specifically the image which is brought to life, as well as the mark assigned to this second beast. Let me read to you verse 14. This is discussing the second beast. And the second beast deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. You've never heard this take, this interpretation, this divine interpretation by anybody else regarding the image of the second beast. My name's Steve Cochran, and this is End Time Insights. I had a listener email me who had apparently purchased some of my material and was mentioning long and lengthy, bless their heart, on how I was contradicting, or I had a contradiction in the interpretation, if you can call it that, regarding chapter 13 of Revelation, wherein I was discussing the second beast, which is also classified as the false prophet. Now, I want to read to you that passage, which are verses 11 through 18. This person was saying basically, it is the image which comes to life is the false prophet, because the image comes to life. Now, this is what the person said, and I didn't reply because it would be a little too lengthy for me to get into it. Folks, let me say something here real quick. Just because I don't dive into a particular area or get really descriptive on certain things doesn't mean there isn't an answer that I haven't already seen. Maybe I prefer not to discuss it. This I've known for years. I just never discussed it. Now, there are some things that admittedly you can certainly see today a lot more clearly than you could years ago. And I want to bring them out to you. I want you to see something you've never seen before, even though it's been right in front of our faces for decades, folks. This has been right in front of our faces for decades. But let's dive into this passage regarding the second beast. Now, I'm not going to go back into and rehash teachings that I've already done, but I will mention them slightly, but I'm not going to reteach. You'll see what I mean. Verse 11, John is seeing this after seeing the first beast. Verse 11, you that have your Bibles, and I beheld another beast. This is John talking. And I beheld another beast. And before I go any farther, I want to say this. This is the second beast. Obviously, this is the second beast. And I beheld another beast. He's already beheld the first. Now he's looking at another one. Now, without having to reteach what the Bible clearly teaches, and I've taught about plenty of times before, folks, interpretations or meanings don't change throughout the Bible. Meanings are they're the same throughout. What if Daniel says a beast is an empire or a kingdom? Then in Revelation, a beast is also an empire or a kingdom. Are you following me? The meaning isn't going to change simply because we're in a different book. So if Daniel specifically says a beast is a kingdom, then this is a kingdom. I'm not going to get into this again. I've been there, done that. So this is sometimes the problem we run into, though. We don't see clearly, and I want you to pay attention to the wording. Daniel said a beast is a kingdom. John seeing a beast, another kingdom. Listen to how it's classified. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and the beast is apparently a male. Not a human being, not a person, but the beast is a male beast. That's just symbolism, folks. Again, I'm not going to get back into this again. I've discussed this before on television. And he, this beast, had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Now that ought to tell you real quickly, real just out there. It's out there. This isn't a human being that has two horns like a lamb and speaks as a dragon. I mean, that's a weird-looking, odd-looking person. It's an empire. This is all symbolism, folks. And he, here we go again, exercises all the power of the first beast before him. Did you catch that? So he is exercising all the power of the first beast before him. He's obviously a beast. Just follow this, folks. Just follow this. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, so he's the second beast, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And this empire, this male beast, doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. I've discussed what that is. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles, bringing fire down from heaven, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And so this second beast had power to do these miracles in sight of the first beast. The first beast could see this, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, the first beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And I've discussed this in previous teachings too, folks. Again, I'm not going to get into this because I'm only addressing the image and the mark. The image is going to be interesting because it comes to life. And as the person who wrote in told me, this is a person. This has to, because how do you bring an image to life? Verse 15. And he had power to give life to the image of the empire. That the image of the beast or empire, the image of the empire or kingdom should both speak and cause that as many should not worship the image of the empire, I'm interpreting, of the beast should be killed. Did you get that? I'll read it. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many should not worship the image of the empire should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great. He, not a person, folks. This he has not converted over into anything other than it's a beast. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast, the name of the empire, or the number of his name, or the number of the beast's name. There's a lot to unpack there, and believe it or not, in previous episodes, television shows, I've discussed every one of these aspects. But admittedly, I did not discuss the image to the extent that the image comes alive, right? What did I do? I referred to you to a religion, the only religion on the planet today. This was Islam in the form of ISIS, which we'd seen conquering cities overseas. Again, I've discussed all this, folks. They were conquering cities in the Middle East, telling everybody that they needed to convert or die.
Terrorists in Iraq telling Christians that they should convert or die.
What do you make of this? We know specifically in a city like Mosul, where there used to be 60,000 Christians practicing, worshiping, and living and carrying out their Christian faith, reduced to zero, being forced out of those cities, fleeing north into the northern part of Kurdistan in Iraq. Basically told, you better convert to Islam or die.
And they had on their head a badge of servitude. It was the image, their own image, their own stamp. It had Allah in it, in this insignia, and it also had ISIS, the Islamic State. They were creating a caliphate, folks. Okay? So this stamp that they wore in the form of a bandana, they wore on their head, I saw images or pictures that people would send me of both on their right hand. This bandana would be worn on their wrist, actually. And I saw a picture of it on their left wrist. So left hand, right hand, forehead, in the form of a bandana. Let me give you something here real quick. What is the Greek word, excuse me, the Greek word in verse 14 and in verse 15? Image. This is the big deal because apparently it's this image that's going to come alive, right? This image is both going to speak and cause as many as would not worship this image to be killed. Image, the Greek, folk, and listen to me. Stick with the Greek. I don't know what to say when we venture off somewhere else and we're not even in the Greek anymore. What are we thinking? The Greek gives us the meanings to every word that we interpret. Every word. Now, sometimes there are interpretations that have it wrong, but you that have an internet, you that have a Strong's Concordance, here's the meaning and the word, the Greek word, to image. Listen. I believe it's icon, E-I-K-O-N. This is the meaning, the meaning to the word icon. Image. A likeness. I'll put it down below. A likeness. Literally, statue, profile, or figuratively, representation or resemblance. Image. That is the Greek. You that have the Strongs can look it up and just verify that I'm not playing games with you. That's really the meaning. Literally a statue, a profile, folks. That's the image. But people have a problem thinking, well, this image is going to come alive. Hold with me for a moment. Well, the next word, mark. Because apparently, according to verse 15, what did it say? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause as many as should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or foreheads. Now again, I'm telling you, ISIS was already doing this. ISIS already had their badge of servitude, which is what mark means.
ISIS has confiscated and painted the letter N in red on Christian homes. It stands for Nasrani, the Arabic word for Christian. The writing in black reads property of the Islamic State. This week, Iraqi Christians used the symbol to highlight their cause as they marched to the United Nations office in Erbil.
We are the people of peace, and we are the original inhabitants of this nation. We lived in peace for years with Muslims without problems. Yes to peace, no to terrorism.
Kerygma, or kerygma, depending on how you want to pronounce it, means a stamp, a scratch, or etching, i.e. stamp. Folks, hear this. Listen. As a badge of servitude, or sculptured figure, statue. Are you getting this, folks? Statue? Again, same things. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing, according that this empire, this second beast, is going to create an image, which apparently comes to life. And then there's going to be a mark, a stamp. Hold with me, folks. That's the Greek. A stamp as a badge of servitude of a sculptured figure, statue, or at least that's the Greek, folks. That's the Greek. So what do we got? We got a stamp as a badge of service or servitude of the image or the statue. Are you following this? Hello, folks. So the stamp, this badge of servitude, is of the statue or the image. But this person had a problem with, well, the image speaks. The image comes to life. Folks, listen to me. Yes, ISIS did this. ISIS had their own badge of servitude, and if you didn't convert to Islam, I'm sorry, folks, they would behead you.
Overseas now, where ISIS has spread its wave of terror to a new front, Libya, releasing a chilling video of Christians executed in a mass beheading. And now ISIS is threatening to go even further. We get more from our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell.
21 Egyptian Coptic Christians being paraded along the Tripoli waterfront before being beheaded by ISIS terrorists in Libya. Back home in their impoverished Egyptian village, relatives of the slaughtered prisoners grieved, calling ISIS butchers, monsters. And Pope Francis mourned the latest victims. He said their only words were, "Jesus, help me." They were killed simply for the fact that they were Christians.
There is only one message that comes from them, which is convert to our ways, do things our ways, or we're going to kill you.
You either converted or you were killed. And what does Islam do? Well, they 5 times a day, they get down and pray, don't they? You hear me? Because you've never heard this. I've never said this part, even though it's been right in front of our face, folks. It's been right there. Again, where apparently I was in contradiction was that the statue comes to life. This image comes to life and it speaks. Now, we all know statues don't speak. Or do they?
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
5 times a day. No matter where you are in the world, you face, if you're Islamic, you face Mecca, which is a big cube, and you face that direction and you worship the cube. I know I'm bothering some people right now. I know the demons are stirring right now. Folks, it's a cube. It's a statue. It's a cube. I'm not going to get into it. And I don't even care. But no matter where you are in the world, 5 times a day you face that baby, and or you're not Islamic, or you're lukewarm, or you're not Islamic. Now I'm telling you right now, in the not too distant future, not years and years from decades, but not too long from now, Islam is coming to this continent. And there's going to be, I'm not saying it's going to be an image of the first, another cube. I'm not saying that. I am saying there's going to be an image that will speak that if you do not bow down and worship, when Sharia law, which is what's going to happen through the Antichrist, I'm telling you, this little horn is going to attempt to change the times and the laws. The laws being Sharia, folks. And if you don't, throughout your day, 5 times a day, face this new image that's going to speak, and you don't submit, you shall be killed. It's not the image that's going to make you killed, folks. It's the fact that Sharia law, like anybody today in any city, if you see somebody breaking the law, you're told, we're told to report it. Aren't we? We're supposed to, if we're a good law-abiding citizen, we report when we see bad things happening. I'm telling you, Islam, Muslims, when they see that you are not bowing down to this image, they're going to kill you. It's that simple. So I'm telling you, there's going to be an image. I'm not saying it's Mecca's cube. I'm not saying it's anything like that. It may be something similar to what ISIS has already done, but it's going to be Islamic, and you will bow down and worship that bad boy, or you will be killed, and it will speak. I suggest you get this book, folks. Get this book. This is going to tell you what's to come, and when it's happening, you're going to understand what you're looking at. This is a timely book. It's for the now, and again, not too long from now, you're not even going to be able to get a hold of a book like this or this book, because I'm telling you, this is one of a kind. I mean it. We're coming into a time when there's going to be a famine for the word, not just simply for the Bible, but for truth, folks, for truth. I'm telling you, for truth. You're going to want to get this book. I would ask you to get it while you can and while I can give it. More revelation to come. Look for more to come. Until next time, take care and God bless.